Hey, I'm Aaron with Seattle Piano Company, and today we are standing with a Yamaha C3 here in our shop. It's a 6'1" grand. Um, there's a lot I really like about this piano. We did a ton of work to this thing, so we know this one really well inside and out. This is a piano that we picked up locally here in, I think we got it in Edmonds actually. Um, was that right, Sean? Is that somewhere we got this? Edmonds? Shoreline. Same thing? Not really. Anyway, it was in a really beautiful home on the water. Everything in their home was immaculately kept, and they thought a lot of this piano, so they kept this in really great shape too. So when we got this piano, it actually had a player system in it, and it was one of like the first non-pneumatic player systems that were offered in the market outside of the disc clavier system. So that system wasn't really something that was upgradable or something we really wanted to mess with, so we removed it. And in doing so, when you remove a player system, a lot of times there's like some residual cutting inside of the piano, or there'll be some trap work that isn't original. This thing was in such incredible shape that I couldn't all that stuff I just mentioned, you would never know. Unless you're under the piano and like really looking for it and knowing what you're looking for, you wouldn't notice that at all. But me being as neurotic as I am and as nice as I thought this piano was, we did a ton of work to this thing to make it like indistinguishable from ever having a player in it. So we worked with our neighbors next door at the custom furniture shop, and they used their CNC machine to cut into the belly of this piano and make a really uniform shape, and then they made a corresponding plug to go in there. And we used the same spruce material for the key bed of the piano that was removed originally to put that player in there. I then got brand new trap work from Yamaha to bring it back to stock, essentially. Got all that old player stuff out of there. You would never know. Like, I'm telling you right now, but like you would never know that there was ever a player in this piano. So we did a ton of work to this thing, just because I thought a lot of it and I wanted it to be as best as it could be. The guy behind the camera right now, Sean, he did a ton of work to this thing too. Thank you, Sean. Some of the things that are notable about this thing, we went through and we wet sanded and polished the whole piano, so there is not a scratch on this thing. So with the finish on this Yamaha, and with all modern Yamahas, it's not a lacquer, it's a polyester, so it's kind of like a colored resin. So when you get a scratch or a nick in the finish, you're actually able to wet sand it and then buff it out, kind of like you would on a car, to bring it back to that brand new gloss, which is what happened on this guy. So we went through, got the finish to look brand new. Sean and I went through and we polished all the brass on the piano as well. So as we're looking at like this lid hinge and the pedals, even like the brass logo on the fall board there, I mean, all this stuff looks brand new. So this is pretty indistinguishable from a brand new piano. We went as far as we went through and we machined the wheels down a little bit to get any sort of, I don't know, like any nicks from rolling it around over the years. So it looks brand new. It's in really great shape. Another thing that I think is really cool about this piano is it has the synthetic ivory. This is called Ivorite, so it's a little bit grippier than the traditional acrylic key tops. Yamaha discontinued these. I don't know if it was a cost thing or what, but the other really cool thing about this keyboard, when you look at the sharps up here, you can kind of see the wood grain through them, and that's because it's a piece of rosewood that's been dyed black. Rosewood, as you can imagine, is a pretty expensive material, but really high-end pianos are going to have those key tops on them. We just did a Steinway restoration and had all of the key tops replaced, but I had all the sharps replaced too, and instead of them being plastic like you see on most modern day pianos, I asked them to give us the real rosewood ones, and so I sent them off not thinking of it. Like, I've had, I don't know, countless keyboard sets replaced in the past, key top sets. They called me and they're like, "Did we give you a quote on this?" They're talking about the black keys. And I was like, "No, man, but could you, replace them, use the good stuff, you know." They're like, "Well, you know, it's," and I can't tell you what my wholesale was, but if I would have had to charge that to a customer, it would have been $1,500, like in just black keys, which is crazy, because if it would have been plastic, it would have been like $300, you know. So this is a very nice touch. This is an expensive way to manufacture a piano, but with the Yamaha C series, it's their conservatory model. I mean, they're really putting their best foot forward on this one. So it's fitting. So It looks great. Keyboard looks awesome. Taking a look at the inside of this piano, we went through and we did a really thorough job of polishing and cleaning up all the tuning pins and the pin field there. All of these A graphs, you can see that they're nice and shiny. We went through and polished those up. The strings themselves, we went over with a special string polish to bring those back to a real nice gloss. We took each of these screws, these plate screws were taken out and put onto our machine buffer, and we did them one by one. We would take one out, buff it, put it back in. The reason you have to do that is there's like a ton of tension on the plate of this piano, holding all that string tension on there. There's like literal tons of combined pressure on there. So that takes a long time because we can't just take them out, take them over to the buffer and bring them back. I mean, it's trips back and forth to get that done. So, but that was a worthy endeavor on this thing because it looks awesome. It just totally pops. So this looks new. It sounds awesome. Our friend Lennon was here yesterday and he went through and he did a demo that we recorded that'll be at the end of the video. This is like, I say this on every video with a piano that can be interpreted as bright. This does have a slightly brighter tone, but it's not like metallic and percussive and like ear piercing. It's just clear, which is what you get in a lot of German-made pianos. We went through and we voiced this thing to sound to what we think is a really great tone. So if you'd prefer it to be a little bit less bright, there's certainly room to bring the voicing down a little bit and make it a little bit more mellow, but I think as it sits right now, it sounds awesome. So as great as the exterior looks and the keyboard looks, the mechanics on the inside, they need to be in really great shape for the piano to perform well. So we'll go ahead and take the keyboard out. We'll take a look at the inside and see what kind of shape it's in. All right, we'll take a look at the inside of this thing. All right, so this, the interior, the action, the hammer shanks of this piano are in great shape. We have our shop dog, Pizza, is here today, and my wife is out of town, and usually Pizza's hanging out with her at the house. My wife is on the computer all day, and Pizza sits on top of the desk with her, so now if I sit at a piano, she yelps at me thinking this is my desk, but you're not going in the piano, dude. So you're gonna hang out down here. I apologize for any weird chirping, squealing, any weird pug noises that you hear during the discussion about the action here. But in any case, this thing is in really great shape. When we got the piano, we got it from the original owners, and so they bought it brand new in 1986, and the piano brand new, along with that like kind of cut at the time, state-of-the-art, like kind of cutting-edge player piano system that they had put into it. That was a pretty significant investment. That was like one of their like first really major purchases that they had as a married couple, they told me. And so they took immaculate care of it throughout the years. It had a string blanket on the inside. The finish looked awesome. I mean, so we did put a lot of work into this piano, but we had such a great base to work with. Everything just responded really well to us. So when we were working on this thing and I was taking all the player components out and stuff, there was no dust inside of it, and you can't get in there to clean that without totally removing it, which they did not do. I mean, it would be impossible for them to do that and put it back in unless they were, player piano technicians, which they were not, which is why they had a really nice house. But in any case, pulling the action out for the first time, and when I'm in someone's home, usually there's a bunch of dust that kind of slides out with it. Nothing, not a speck. I have no idea how they kept it so clean, but this has been an immaculately kept piano, and you can tell by looking at the inside here. The wood components in here, so the hammer shanks, the key sticks and everything, they look brand new. There's no discoloration at all. These have just been true survivor components. Underneath the hammers, you can see the whippings and these back felts look brand new. Everything is really gorgeous in here. Same with the back checks here, the end of the key felts and everything. Look awesome. The hammers, the way I judge a hammer as far as the longevity of the hammers, I look at the material left between the tip of the hammer and the core of the hammer, which is that wooden piece in there. This has a ton of life left in it. This piano was played, but it wasn't played within an inch of its life, right? So I mean, this wasn't like a piano teacher's piano. This was just something that they would sit and play at, occasionally type of deal. So these hammers, This action as a whole, this piano, I was born in 1986 and this thing is in way better shape than I am. And I think that this piano is going to outlive me. So this piano has several decades left in it. As morbid as that sounds, it's a good thing. So this piano sounds great. It looks awesome. It plays like a new piano. Check out Lennon playing at the end of this video here. If you have any questions about this piano, give me a shout. I'm Aaron. If you call or email, it's going to go directly to me. Thanks a lot for watching, and let me know what you think.